Thank you for attending the 24-25 Thomas Worthington OHSAA parent meeting. This will satisfy the Ohio High School Athletic Association parent meeting requirement for the entire 24-25 school year. Information in this presentation is put together to assist parents in understanding the expectations of OHSAA, Worthington Schools, and Thomas Worthington High School. Let's meet some people you'd want to know at Thomas Worthington. First of all, our principal, Mr. Scully. Miss Fiesler, that's me. I'm the athletic director and will serve as your narrator today. Mr. Welsh, the assistant athletic director. Jen Van Horn, our head athletic trainer, and Mrs. Heberling, our administrative assistant. Why do we meet? This is a requirement for OHSAA, and it's a best practice. We want to review the school rules and expectations for Worthington and the Ohio High School Athletic Association. It's always important to be informed. Our Worthington school mission is to empower a community of learners who will change the world. Those are your students and ours. Here are our fall sport offerings, along with head coach listing. Cheerleading, cross country for boys and girls, field hockey, football, golf for boys and girls, soccer for boys and girls, girls tennis, girls volleyball, and water polo for boys and girls. This meeting is also being viewed by our marching band parents. The marching band requirements are the same as they are for athletics. That's why they are included in this presentation. Our winter sport offerings are basketball for boys and girls, bowling, again, boys and girls, cheerleading, gymnastics, ice hockey, swimming for boys and girls, and wrestling for boys and girls. Our spring sport offerings are baseball, softball, boys tennis, track for boys and girls, boys volleyball, and lacrosse for boys and girls. In case you missed any of those coaches or you want to contact for them an email contact, here is a QR code that you can get that information. The OHSAA requirements say the following. These are condensed from the 100-page plus booklet that they put out. Students must live in the Worthington School District boundaries. Students must have passed 5 one-credit classes in the preceding grading period. For fall sports, 4th grading period of the previous school year is used. Every class counts as 1 credit with an exception, and that exception is physical education classes. That would be strength and conditioning, yoga, or just a straight up phys ed class. Students have to pass this in the preceding grading period and be passing at the exact end of the quarter. If grades are changed into the next grading period, sometimes our teachers allow students to do makeup work. This does not help with their athletic eligibility. It has to be passing 5 at the end of the grading period. The grading period ends are listed on the school website. We ask our students, don't drop a class or change your schedule without talking to an administrator. If your student asks you about a schedule change, please have them come see an administrator just to make sure their eligibility is intact. The parents must live in Ohio, and if a student changes schools after establishing eligibility in the 9th grade, the student is ineligible for a year. Again, this is an OHSAA requirement. There are several pathways to eligibility. If your student did not attend Thomas Worthington the first day of school as a 9th grader, please contact me as soon as possible. We will see if you meet one of those pathways toward eligibility through the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Continuing on, students are entitled to 8 semesters of participation once they start 9th grade. Basically what this means is they have 4 years to play high school sports. No exceptions. There's no red shirt. There's no add-on of years like you might hear of in the college arena. Once a student reaches the age of 20, they are no longer eligible. And during the sports season, students can't participate in a non-school team if it is the same sport as the school team. Here's an example. If a student is in our soccer program in the fall, they can't play on another soccer team, a church team, a club team, etc. If a student is on our school soccer team, they would be permitted to play on an AAU basketball team. Those are two different sports. It can't be the same sport during the same season. The OHSAA has a vast website with lots of useful information, policies, start dates, etc., and you can look there for further information. Again, if you need clarification on any of these items, please contact the athletic office. The Worthington Schools Handbook is available on the district website. It's also part of what you sign off with final forms, and it's the responsibility of the student and the parent to understand what's in that book. Students have to complete final forms prior to their first day of tryouts. That's probably why you're watching this video now. It's part of the final forms requirement. Every student has to have a physical turned in and be registered online before tryouts. Just a reminder, parents, physicals are good for 13 months. If your physical is going to expire during your student season, it might be wise to try to get an appointment scheduled and maybe even have an overlap in that 13 months. Insurance usually will pay for a physical every 12 months. To find final forms, you just go to Worthington Schools, then look at Thomas Worthington, and then athletics. Those are the steps, which you've probably already gotten there if you're watching this video. High school eligibility for Worthington Schools. Students must have a minimum of a 1.0 grading period, GPA. Again, here's the same one as OHSAA. They must pass 5 one-credit courses at the conclusion of the grading period. Remember, the end of the grading period is just that. That's when athletic eligibility is determined. If grades are changed after the end of the grading period, it does not impact eligibility for athletics. That is set at the end of the grading period. Students must also pass 2.5 credits in each semester. By passing 5 classes each quarter, that is taken care of. If students are in College Credit Plus, online courses, or Career Center, these are fantastic opportunities for the student. Most College Credit Plus classes, most collegiate classes that they go off campus to take count toward 2 credits in the 5 they need to pass. Not all, but most. Again, check with guidance or counselors or administrators. Online courses. If a student takes an online course and it's a half-year or semester course, when we get halfway through the semester, for instance, at the end of first quarter, if it's during the first semester, they have to have 50% of the course done. If it's a course they're taking second semester, then at the end of third quarter, 50% of the class must be completed. Students at the Career Center also have varying number of credits assigned to their courses. We work really well with the Career Center. In most cases, we're able to get the grades directly from the Career Center. There are a few cases where we can't get the grades and we will rely on the student because we don't have access to the grades for Career Center. So responsibility to get those grades in if we need them for all of these, College Credit, online, and Career Center, those responsibilities lie with the student. There are fees to pay for athletics. Fees are $125 per sport. Cheerleading is $85. And those non-sanctioned sports through OHSAA, boys and girls water polo and cheerleading, are an additional $5. Payments are made through My Payments Plus. The website's listed right there, and they should be paid by the first contest of the season. Worthington School District does not provide accident or health insurance for athletes participating in athletics. It's the responsibility and a requirement of the parents to maintain an active accident and health policy while the child is participating in sports. This is again part of what you sign off on final forms. The school district can offer you a supplemental accident insurance policy. That's something that you would have to pay for, and information is available in our school offices. Ohio Health provides our athletic trainers. They are our experts in health and wellness for our student athletes. Our head trainer is Jennifer Van Horn. We met her earlier in the presentation. Right now, the assistant athletic trainer is Kyla Williams, and the hours for the training room are 3 until the end of the sporting day's events. Usually that's 9 or later. We have 2 training rooms, one inside the building. We use that one exclusively in the winter sport time, and in the fall and spring, our athletic trainers sometimes split up, but primarily are housed at our stadium locker room. Our team physician is Dr. Kelly Clem. And if you work through Jen or Kyla, you can usually get an appointment within 24 to 48 hours. Dr. Clem comes once a week in the fall, and Jen will set up a meeting with him as necessary for an injury or a rehabilitation. And we want all injuries reported to parents, the athletic trainer, and coaches. If you take your student to see a doctor outside of hours and we are not aware of it, we should get a note from them clearing to begin participation again. So in other words, if you take your student after practice or a game and our trainer doesn't know about it and you think they need to get an x-ray or go see somebody at an urgent care, please get a note from them saying what the student is permitted to do. We are not permitted to let them continue in competition without that note, or a note from another doctor, which means another doctor's appointment. Concussions are serious head injuries. Some of the signs and symptoms: headache, dizziness, lightheadedness, nausea, blurry vision, confusion, and being disoriented. If a student is showing any of these signs and symptoms, or our athletic trainers or the official or a coach thinks they might have sustained a concussion, they will be removed from participation on that day and will not be allowed to return. If a concussion is diagnosed, then the student athlete has to go through a 5-step return to play protocol. Due to the 5 steps, it's usually a minimum of 5 days. If your student would like to have impact testing, please contact our athletic trainer, Jen, if you want your child to have an impact test for a baseline concussion test. Some of the other things we're concerned with athletic training are sudden cardiac arrest, heat illnesses, and hydration. Sudden cardiac arrest is a condition when the heart suddenly stops beating. You had to watch something about it in final forms. It's part of your registration. There's 3 different types of heat illnesses to be concerned with, especially in these hot summer months. Sometimes the fall gets very warm, and also in the spring. Heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and the one that we're really worried about is heat stroke. In heat stroke, there's no sweating, throbbing headache, an altered mental status for the child, and this could be a life-threatening situation. Our coaches are aware of this, as is our athletic trainer. We want the parents also to be aware. It's important to keep students hydrated. We want them drinking water, more water than they think they will need. Our alcohol, tobacco, and other drug regulations are a 12-month rule. This also includes vapes. Upon a first violation, a student will have a consequence of the loss of 1 season. This could be reduced to 20% of the season if they complete the student assistance program. Upon a second violation, a student will have to sit out a year from athletics. It could be reduced to 50% by completing the student assistance program. In their high school career, a third violation means their career is finished. It could be reduced to a year, but there has to be an appeal and some type of a substantiated rehabilitation process. Students may also self-refer. Self-referral cannot be used to beat the information to the athletic office, but the self-refer is when a student voluntarily comes in and then agrees to participate in the student assistance. With the self-referral, there are no sit-outs, but you can read more details in the handbook. The other thing with violations is that student leadership positions are denied for 1 calendar year. We have an anti-hazing policy. Hazing of any type is prohibited at all times on and off school property. By definition, hazing is defined as any action taken or situation created by a student or group of students relating to the status or membership in a group that causes or is likely to cause bodily danger, physical harm, emotional harm, extreme embarrassment or ridicule, personal degradation, or loss of dignity. We want all kids to feel welcome and belong in the athletic program. Communications are important between coaches, parents, and athletes. 3 powerful factors in a successful athletic program are those 3 pieces: the student athlete, the school, and the parents. We want parents and coaches to be appropriate, professional, and inclusive. Parents, please do not confront a coach immediately before, during, or after a contest. Set up a time to talk or meet. We want to work together in a constructive and reasoned manner. The most significant adults in a student athlete's life can make high school sports a great experience. I would also ask that at the end of the season, you'll get a link to a survey via final forms to complete regarding your students' participation in that season. These are totally anonymous, and we ask that you please complete those in a timely manner. This is important for our coaches' evaluation as we look for reasons for improvement in our coaching staff. Our attendance policy is that students must be in school for 50% of their academic day in order to practice or play. Please have your student in school. If your student goes to a doctor or dentist, please get a note from that doctor or dentist so that they'll be excused in the case that they may go over the 50%. Same thing with a college visit. Please get an official note from the college or university stating that you were on a visit. These would be excused from the 50% rule. If there are unique situations where your student may have to miss and it doesn't fall into any of these categories already talked about, please check with the athletic office in advance, and we'll see if we can get those things approved so that the student can participate in practice or games. Our event tickets for the 24-25 school year again will allow students in grades 6 through 12 to enter for free in regular season events by showing their school ID. We ask that the students take a picture of the ID and keep it in their phone. That way they always have it. Tickets can be purchased online on the school website. Game tickets for varsity will be $8. Anything attached to a varsity game is also $8. Any JV or freshman standalone games, meaning there is not a varsity game before or after it, are $5. You can buy a year-long pass for $75 for adults, $35 for students. That will get you into all middle school and high school regular season games at all of our schools. And there are also seasonal home passes by sport, and the cost is based on the number of games in a season. We want good sportsmanship. It's expected of all of our coaches, student athletes, fans, and your population, parents. Good sporting behavior is expected to be practiced toward each other, toward the opponents and their fans, contest officials, and coaches. Student athletes who are ejected will be ineligible for 2 contests. Football is only 1. And remember that officials' decisions are final. Officials are people too. They make mistakes from time to time. We are in a current shortage of officials. Anything you can do to show your appreciation for officials and show sportsmanship toward the officials is very much appreciated. Without officials, we can't play the game. By paying admission and/or traveling to a contest, fans don't have a right to criticize officials or coaches. As adults, we are setting the example. Please be aware of that at all times. We are in a world where most of us participate in social networking. We have several websites and apps so that you can stay up to date as parents. Please follow those. Students should only communicate things that are appropriate for parents, teachers, coaches, administrators to see on social media, texting, etc. Please have a conversation with your student about this and have it often. We want students to leave with a positive social networking footprint. We have very nice facilities here at Thomas Worthington. Our athletes need to be supervised in the secured facilities after school and before practice or outside of school hours. What is a secured facility? Our stadium is open all the time. When we have events, you have to pay admission to get in there. But if you come over on a weekend and there's no events, it's open. That doesn't need to be supervised by our coaches. However, places like our weight room and our gyms, those are secured. Those have to be supervised by a coach in order to use them. We ask the students not to wear cleats inside, to clean up after themselves, and in the locker room, both home and on the road, everything should be locked. Never leave anything unlocked. Never leave anything on the bench or on the floor. We can't be responsible for lost or stolen items. Please, again, have these frequent conversations with your student athlete. If you have any questions about the information in this presentation, contact your head coach or the athletic office and follow us on the 3 social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thanks for your participation today. We hope all of our student athletes have a fantastic year.